Walt Harris and Kenny Conselman here at the Oakland Coliseum Arena. It's a championship round game between the Pioneers and the Jolters, who are ready to move into the third period of play now with the score of the Jolters 8 and the Pioneers 7. These are the same two clubs and open the Midwest Tour. The Pioneers will be hosting this big, tough Jolter team. So here we go. Barbara Baker moving in the outside. Along with her, though, Rita Williams, number 50, and Candy Jones, 57 for the Pioneers. Pam Kaniva comes out of the pack for the Jolters. So there are 4 jammers moving on this play, 2 from each club. Baker blocking in there, and the 2 Pioneer jammers. Kaniva moving behind. I don't know whether she wants to try and take him down. She blocks him back, and Kaniva takes him down. That's pretty good play, and I have to give him credit. Baker put him off balance. Kaniva finished the job, so all the jammers except for Baker are back in the pack, and here's Baker closing on the pack. Rita Williams caught back there right now with about 30 seconds of jamming time left. So once again, it's the Jolters with the only scoring threat going here. The Pioneers have nobody in scoring position. Baker decked in there by the jammer. Now she goes by Jan Vallow blocking in there. Jan Vallow big and tough. That's 2 points on the play for Baker. Moving now on Joni Weston. Weston with a block on Baker. Weston with another block in. The golden blonde out there. The queen. Joni Weston. Vallow trying to pull Baker around Weston. Weston ducks out from underneath and leaves the 2 girls spinning around, and down went Baker. But there were 2 points picked up on the play by the Jolters. And they lead now 10-7. Remember, the girls' field is going to be strengthened in this Pioneer Club, as Buddy Atkins Sr. has got the contract of Debbie Cho. Real fine skater. Ken, I think they're going to like her in Chicago.
Well, Walt, Debbie was with the team 2 seasons ago, and she showed an awful lot of promise then. In the last year with the Bay Bombers, she's really developed into one of the top defensive skaters in the league, and she's going to give Joan Weston, I think, the kind of backup in the pack that she's been looking for.
Good enough. Ken, why don't you call the next jam?
Okay, Pioneers look like they're going to have the pack open here. On the outside, Francine Koshu for the Pioneers. She does have the lead. She's got some heavy company, though. Rose Duran right behind her. Duran, the big point getter for the Jolters. Koshu goes to the inside, elbow block, battling for the lead here. These 2 going at it. Duran coming back to the inside. Koshu ducks a block, and Duran is off of the track. Francine Koshu, some fancy footwork that time. And the Pioneers, as a result, have the only jammer on the play. And Jan Vallow comes back there for the Jolters. Here comes Koshu in at the rear now. And a series of elbow blocks by Jan Vallow. Duran looks like she wants to get back there, about 20 seconds. Duran with a block comes back to put Koshu down. She's back up now. And elbow block, Duran puts it down again. Atkinson in there yelling at Koshu to keep moving, keep trying. She's got 2 Jolters to worry about here, Duran and Vallow, and time is running out. Back up, and there's the horn. No score on the play. Francine Koshu unable to get by both Jan Vallow and Rose Duran. That's like trying to outmaneuver 3 people on the track.
Weston clobbered there by Jan Vallow. I'll tell you one thing about Koshu, Ken. She's the kind of gal on skates that you'd pay to see, because she is tremendous out there. Has great moves. She might have not scored that time, but I always enjoy watching her skate.
Well, Walt, the main thing is she's the kind of skater that never gives up on a play. She's always back in there the second time. She really doesn't need Buddy Atkinson out there to encourage her. She'll try right up to the very last second of a play.
Well, he was encouraging that time. He was really working out running around that infielder, but that's why he is a great coach. He puts everything he's got into it and a little extra every single time. That's why he's turned out many championship clubs.
That's right, Walt. Bud says he wants 100% out of his skaters, and he asks for another 20% just to make sure, and he usually gets it. Forming up for another play here. Jammers dropping back to the rear of the pack. Blockers in the middle, and we need a pivot up front for the Jolters. That'll be Barbara Baker now. The Jammers can start to move up. Pioneers trailing 10-7 on the scoreboard right now. Third period of action. And the Pioneers have got the jammer out on top, Candy Jones. Candy Jones, along with Francine Koshu, carry the load of the Pioneers' scoring effort in the women's field. So this could be a big play for the Pioneers. They have a secondary jammer out also, and that will be Rita Williams. Candy Jones, meanwhile, has caught the rear of the pack. And Barbara Baker doing the blocking. Jones running right back up, trying to get in. Tries the outside. Now here comes Rita Williams. Barbara Baker in with a block on her. About half a minute remaining, and Joan Weston gets back to assist. Weston trying to make a play here. Rita Williams and Candy Jones are both in scoring position. Jolters now a double block. Weston trying to lead her jammers in. Weaving in and out to the inside. Williams, Jones in, and they call it off. they both got in for 2 points, a total of 4 points for the Pioneers on that play. Walt, probably their biggest play in the game. It puts him in front, 11-10. Rita Williams and Candy Jones are both in scoring position. Jolters now a double block. Weston trying to lead her jammers in. Weaving in and out to the inside. Williams, Jones in, and they call it off. And they both got in for 2 points, a total of 4 points.
That's the way to move. You take advantage of the fact that Jan Bello is in the penalty box. Jan Bello back on the track now for the next jam. And the Pioneers in front, 11-10 over the Jolters. Don't forget the interview at the end of the half. Also, don't forget your Pioneers are going to host this Jolter Club in their opening series. This big, tough Jolter team featuring Jan Bello, perhaps the toughest gal on skates. Barbara Baker, another great skater. The men's field, they're loaded in that. Lots of size, lots of beef, and lots of ability out there in that men's field. Going to be a tough series. Jammers trying to move out again. Bello up in front. Getting out first. Francine Cochu moving, number 55 for the Pioneers. Jan Bello after her. Clobbers with the block. Hits her with another one. Here comes Rose Duran for the Jolters on the play. Rose Duran gets the lead. Bello working on Cochu. And she decks her. Then getting by, moving away on the play. It was a jammer. Terry Lewis, 51 for the Pioneers. Bello over there on the rail. Penalty is called. Or no, point was scored in there. Bello blocking. Duran got the point, then immediately cut off the jam. That Bello was a one-woman gang on that play. She's tough, Ken, no matter how you look at it.
I'll tell you, Walt, Jan in the last season has really lost a lot of weight. And she's beginning to get back some of the speed that she had back closer to her rookie years when she was a jammer.
Hope she doesn't get any more speed back. Don't forget, if you'd like a game scheduled in your area, and it's non-political, non-commercial, it has to be a non-profit organization. If you have a gym or high school or college or an arena that seats more than 2,500 people, write to Bookings. Post Office Box 1827, Oakland, California 94604. Requests like that have seen a lot of great benefit games skated around the country in many towns. Police associations, volunteer fire departments, March of Dimes. Just get in touch with Bookings. Barbara Baker on the jam. Being chased by Rita Williams. Coming up on the pack now. 4 minutes to go in the third period of play. Candy Jones goes down. Baker doing her own work out there that time, and it's a point for the Jolters, and they now lead the Pioneers again by the score of 12-11. They picked up one on the previous jam. Barbara Baker is really coming into her own with this Jolter club, Ken.
I think so, Walt. She's got, of course, a lot of history in the bank track behind her. Her father, Russ Rosie Baker, and her mother, Annis Red Jensen. So she's been around skates almost since she can ever remember.
Had a tremendous injury, had a back operation, and she's still come back. And she is really reaching the peak of her game now. Backs formed. Here we go with another play out of there first. Terry Lewis, 51 for the Pioneers, and Jan Bello takes off in pursuit for the Jolters. Look at that leg block in there. Then she showed the referee everything was okay. She waved what she thought was a teammate by, and it was Joni Weston, and Weston is really rocking Jan Bello now. Weston really walking her. Weston really mad now at Van Bello. Bello out on the floor. Terry Lewis jamming here for the Pioneers. Terry Lewis coming up on the pack. She might have scored 1 point, and Bello not getting back on the track in time. Baker blocking now, and Terry Lewis. That'll be the referee's decision because the skater has replaced Jan Bello, but I don't believe she replaced her in time. It could be a Pioneer point. That's a referee's decision. Baker blocking back there. Rose Duran up there. Jam cut off, though, by Terry Lewis. It is 1 Pioneer point on the play, and that ties up the score again at 12 all here. Craner out there with Jan Bello. She's still on the floor. She tangled with Weston, and that's a tough order for anybody. 12-12 is the score. 2:13 to go here in this period. Waiting to see if Bello gets back up there. There comes Bello back on the track. She gets a mixture of applause and a mixture of boos here, Ken.
Well, Walt, it doesn't make any difference what team you're skating for. When you get hit in an upright and off the track like that, the fans have respect for you.
We have 1:45 to go here in the third period of play. There's Bello putting on the face mask. And here we go again with another jam. 12-12 is the score. Whipped out of there, Koshu by Joni Weston. Ortiz whipping out. Barbara Baker in pursuit for the Jolters now. So each team has a jammer out on the play. Koshu 55. Barbara Baker moving here. Look at there. Cam Geneva now in pursuit. And again, it's Koshu with some great skating out there on that bank track. Francine Koshu, born in Quebec, Canada. Moving on the play. Raised in Quebec, Canada. Buddy Senior clapping his hands. She goes by. Word of encouragement. Jan Vallow there to block. You need encouragement when you're going to face this gal. Koshu is down. Weston decks Vallow. But Vallow gets up and stands in the way. A warning from the referee. I don't know if he's penalizing her or what. She's still out there blocking on Koshu, is down again. Here comes Barbara Baker on the jam. Baker has the lead on the jam now. Weston hits Vallow. Vallow into the arms of Baker, and Koshu goes by. That's a point for sure. And it is 1 point for the Pioneers as Koshu cuts off the jam. That breaks the tie again, makes it 13-12 with 35 seconds left to go here in the third period of play in the first half. Baker has the lead on the jam now. Weston hits Vallow. Vallow into the arms of Baker, and Koshu goes by. That's a point for sure. And it is 1 point for the Pioneers as Koshu cuts off the jam.
Walt, Francine took a big gamble on that last jam. She started, she had the lead, but she was out number 2-1. Instead of cutting it off, she took a gamble. She could outmaneuver those two Jolter jammers. She got away with it and picked up a point in a clutch situation for the Pioneers.
That's confidence.
That's what Buddy Atkinson said he's going to bring the club.
13-12 is the score. The Pioneers out in front. That is the end here. So now we're going to go into the fourth period of play with the men coming on the track with a tough battle with the gals out there. It's been a tough since the opening period of play. Neither team has been able to open up much room. The Jolters had the biggest lead so far in the game, but it's a relatively low scoring game. So the score here at the end of the third period of play is the Pioneers 13 and the Jolters 12.